Okay everyone, welcome back to the lower bracket round. It is between INF.Y. We watched them in the previous game take up Playmaker and doing quite well in game number 2. One or two small mistakes cost them that game in the end. They're going up against 16 Anos. I was actually busy doing research in regards to what was picked, what was played in the previous games, and then it was like, hey, next game is about to start. So I don't have a lot of info in regards to what happened in the games versus, I think it was Pain that they were playing against, although it was a 2-0. So this, of course, being the lower bracket, INF.Y versus 16 Anos. Let's see who does what in this game. The bans are out, of course. The big player in the game versus Playmaker, of course, was the Grimstroke. That has been banned out right now, or first phase banned by INF.Y. Followed up by the Axe and the Dark Willow. 16 Anos take out the Keeper of the Light, Dazzle, and the Ogre. That left Rubik in the pool. Rubik was picked up first phase here by INF.Y. Followed up by Tusk, Brewmaster. Brewmaster, of course, being let through. And Magnus also being left through. INF.Y deciding to pick up the Mag. Now that we're all caught up, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is RidditZ. Yeah, South African caster, casting the South American qualifiers, both technically being SA, South America, and SA being South Africa, so it's a lot of fun. For those of you guys watching on stream, thanks so much. I do appreciate it, and yeah, like drop me a message or two in stream. I'll respond when I can. Slog being banned out next by INF.Y, followed up by Troll. Troll being completely broken. With his ult, if used correctly, for example, like up against the Meepo, just jump in forward, get that entangle off, and Meepo generally just dies because you are pretty much invulnerable. Slark is banned with a leap being, not the leap, the pounce being a leash effect, can't TP out. Also getting permanent stats, you know, back to the old school Slark, if some of you remember that. Extremely powerful hero. 16 Anos decide to ban out the PA, and it's their last ban coming up right now. Let me just change stuff. I think I changed the stream title. Oh. Ban out was the PL. INF.Y actually nearly brought it back with that PL up against the game versus Playmaker. It was quite close towards the end, but yeah, they decided to take that ban and pick up the Winter Wyvern for themselves. So they have good control, good crowd control coming in from the Winter Wyvern, as well as the Brewmaster, the Tusk being there, being able to split up fights, save people. INF.Y having that Rubik, we don't know if this is going to be a mid Rubik like we've seen, or if it's going to be a support Rubik. I think we saw them play a support Rubik in the first game, playing the Rubik as well as the Juggernaut combination specifically. So let's see, are they going to do the same? Magnus, of course, being able to empower the Jugger. Jugger might decide to go for one or two items that he can fight a lot earlier with, instead of just going for the Battle Fury. And 16 Anos, they pick up the Arc Warden as well. So picking up that Arc in the as a fourth pick does give some space for INF.Y to try and counter it, but might just see that Rubik move into a support position. As Arc will, I think in general, just destroy Rubik with the Wraiths, or the Spark Wraiths.
5 seconds left.
Okay, let's have a look here. What's the next pick going to be from INF.Y's side? Either going to pick up another support right now, or going to pick up their mid. Looking at that Dota stats, I mean, they can decide to go for Lone Druid if they want. Try and run the Lone Druid up against the Arc Warden. I mean, some people can pull it off. It's really one of those things where you have to be really good to be able to, you know, do that, in my opinion. Other mid heroes up against the Arc. Arc is generally quite a strong mid laner. Dominates quite a bit because you can just start spamming out these Spark Wraiths. But if you pick up the Dragonite, Arc in general can't really kill the DK at like level 5, level 4, level 5 and onwards. Now DK will just be on top of the creeps the whole time, won't be falling back. You'll need to chip him away and then chase him to actually be able to try and get that kill. But then you have a very static laner. And it's going to be the Phoenix. We saw Soneko, I think, play 4 games of Phoenix today. Played it quite well, and I do like this. The problem, though, is you do have the Arc Illusion that will be hitting the egg, the Brewmaster ults that will be hitting the egg. So lots of, how can I say, lots of heroes that can actually attack the egg. So the Phoenix will actually have to position himself very well. But that's also fine, because if you position well with the egg, it will force the Brew and the Arc, etc. to turn around and start attacking the egg itself, which will allow your Juggernaut to get a good Omni Slash off, get in position. It will allow the Magnus to actually get in a good position as well. The big problem with that, though, is the Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern can completely disrupt that just by dropping his ult, and then they can just decide to focus on the Phoenix. So I think it will all come down to who gets the jump. If Infamous Young gets a good jump off with the Magnus and the Juggernaut, with the Phoenix egg being dropped, Winter Wyvern will drop her ult, but everyone will have to retreat. Some might actually get stunned by the egg itself. If they don't get a good jump and Winter Wyvern can counter with his ulti and then take down the Phoenix egg, a fight might just turn into a full team wipe for the side of Infamous Young. But Lina is banned out here by 16 Anos. Was also banned out by Playmakers in the the second game that they played against them. And Ursa being taken out by Infamous Young. I mean, Ursa has been nerfed a bit. Quite a bit, in my opinion. So, not quite, I mean, Fury Swipes, etc. Yeah. Status Resistance, yeah. But we'll see. Last pick up here for Infamous. What do they decide to go? Is it going to be Rubik mid, or are they going with a Dragonite? And it is going to be the DK being picked up here. So static lanes for him. Arc, I mean, with a little bit of support, if he harasses out DK early on, might be able to get like an extra level above the DK. And if that does happen, can start bullying him out. Otherwise, I think DK is going to do actually okay. 16 Anos, who's their carry going to be?
5 seconds left.
Are we going to see something static? Gyrocopter coming through, Meepo, Timber. Okay, Timbersaw coming. What? Wait, what? So Timbersaw mid. So they're switching things up. It's going to be, I think, an Arc safe lane. Or Arc carry, let me rather put it. With the Timbersaw mid. To go up against the DK, maybe. We'll see. Let's have a look. Where the different heroes are going to go, I don't know. Quickly drink some water. Damn, I wanted to get coffee between the games, but there wasn't enough time. I was thinking, yeah, sure, I have an hour and a half. Let's go first do some research, see what happened in the previous games. And it's just like, nope. Here you go, game's up. It's like all the players are ready. Where's the caster? For those of you guys watching on stream, who do you think is going to take it? Is it going to be Infamous Young, or is it going to be 16 Anos? I mean, you guys know your scene a lot better, so what do you think? Type in chat, let me know. Let me know who you think is going to win and who you hope is going to win. So we see who the supporters are of the teams, but who everyone also thinks should win. Game's about to start now. Arc Warden going safe lane now, so they are switching it up a little bit. With the Tusk as well as the Winter Wyvern going top. Timbersaw going mid to face up versus the Dragonite. I do like that. I do like that. Just ensuring that,
You'll be
I mean, Timbersaw versus Dragonite. Dragonite, you know, heals with the Dragon Blood. Timbersaw heals even more with his reactive armor. I think Timbersaw can put a little bit more pressure on the DK than the Arc Warden can. And they want to make sure the Arc gets everything he can out of lane. Well. Okay, fully kitted out Arc. I hear a lot happening right now. It's going to be the first Spark Raid coming through. There's a Skewer coming up from the Magnus. Does grab the Tusk as well. So Tusk is busy moving in with him. Does have Orb of Venom. Another Spark Raid was thrown towards the high ground. Now they turn around going in onto the Rubik. Rubik might actually drop from this. He does get the telekinesis off. Gets a stun onto two heroes. And the deny is a very long deny up here for the Magnus. That's a rush. I don't... Yeah. Okay. So it does count as a neutral creep. Normally you'll see people, you know, you'll see them running towards a tier 2 tower. But the thing is, you have to wait roughly around like 20 odd seconds until you can run into the tier 3 tower or a tier 2 tower or a tier 1 tower and die. Otherwise, it's still going to give the kill to the enemy team. So if you could die very quickly to rush, you'll still be able to come in, and the first blood was actually dropped down the bottom there. While I'm busy explaining that, no, tip the caster, why don't you? So first blood going to 16 Anos. I mean, Phoenix going with a Fire Spirit, so picking that up quite early on, trying to slow down the farm here of the Brewmaster. Of course, Brewmaster with his new Cinder Brew is... I mean, there's a lot of heroes that everyone's saying is broken, but that's also one of the abilities that's interesting to say the least. These Spark Wraiths are going to be harassing out this poor little Rubik on the backlines. Will constantly be cast around there to make sure the Rubik can't really do anything. And this is why you run the Timbersaw up versus the Dragonite, especially early on. Dragonite doesn't have the sustain to actually deal with this, and Timbersaw sitting on 6 and 3 versus Dragonite's 2 and 0. So Timbersaw will already have his level 3 up at the time probably like a level 4, level 3 split. No, Juggernaut is getting completely slowed up. This tag team is temporarily applies a negative debuff aura around you, causing enemies that are attacked under it to take bonus physical damage and reduced movement speed. And that lasts for 5 seconds. Very similar to... Oh, wait, middle lane, no, nothing's happening there. Very similar to the new Lich.
Your grace is noted.
And still level 1 up here for the Phoenix. Level 2 just hit up for the Tusk as well as the Brewmaster. And the Fire Spirit just trying to slow them down. We'll do a bit of burn damage, but not that much. Middle lane, Dragonite has hit 3, so does at least have his 2 points in his Dragon Blood, and you know, it's a big difference from 4 HP 3 armor to 7 HP 6 armor. So he can start mad moding a little bit more up against the Timbersaw, especially with Timbersaw not really having a lot of power. But level 4, level 3 split, and I mean, I don't really see Timber killing the Dragonite just yet. Top lane, pulling up the creeps, or pulling down the creeps here. Trying to make sure that they can at least get a little bit of farm, or as much as possible. Into Wyvern, yeah, just gonna pull the rest of the creeps here towards the top lane. People saying infamous in chat. Let's see. Oh, bottom lane, nothing much happening there either. So 1,000 net worth up for the side of 16 Anos. And middle lane's starting to balance out a lot more. 19-3 versus 18-1. At that level 5, with 3 levels up in Dragon Blood, the kill potential on this lane is pretty much non-existent. But there you go. There's that aura being used here by the Tusk. He's only used one of his skill or one of his abilities yet. Keeping the other one in until he hits level 3, then he'll put one in. You know, always keeping that snowball ready or his charge ready as well. Come on, guys! I want action.
Be back to finish.
Let's go. That run forward. Oh, it sounds so funny. Level 3 up on the Tusk, so 2 levels up in tag team. Still keeping a level in either snowball or eye shots. And looking at the last hits here, 17-3 up versus the Brewmaster 16-4. So a very even matchup here between the two cores in this lane. Looking at top though, Arc Warden struggling a little bit. 15-3 versus 14-2 up here for the mag. So both the side lanes, the two cores doing pretty much even and balancing it out. I actually would have thought that the Arc would have got a bit more. The problem is with the mag being able to spam out as much as he can, and Rubik spamming out as well. Protecting the 5-minute bounties. We're going to see some kind of fight coming in here. There's a Drunken Brawler, Brewmaster, there's a Snowball as well. Trapping both of them, won't get slowed. Now they want to turn around. Can they get the kill onto the Phoenix? Phoenix might just die a second time now. And the Tusk does run away. He does have boots up. He gets out scot-free. So that is... And wait. What? Neutral Creep actually got the kill on the Phoenix. So Phoenix did not feed a second side for his team. No idea how that neutral creep. I'm actually going to watch the replay on the stream as soon as that happens, just to see what actually happened here. And Dragonite might be in a bit of trouble himself here. He does have 3 charges up in his Dragon Blood. Does get a stun, forced to use it, but he'll be able to just run himself away from that. Top lane Phoenix did come top, does have his level 3 up. Don't think this will scout it, but the problem is their creep wave's pushing up, so it's not really doing much. Top Shrine was used by the Dragonite just to make sure he doesn't leave the lane for too long. And Phoenix, he does have 2 levels up in his Fire Spirits. Are they going in? Fire Spirits is used there. He is storming in forward. There's the charge in as well by the Magnus. Are they going to turn around? Will they be able to get the kill onto the Arc Warden? Arc Warden is busy burning. He needs one more hit. No, he salves up. He actually might be able to get out of this one. Magnus did drop. And there's a Spark Wraith. All of a sudden, Arc Warden, he is just... Will they actually be able to get the kill on the Arc Warden? One more hit needed. I can't believe it. That's the second salve actually being popped here. Arc Warden lives and survives. Both saying exactly the same thing. Living is surviving. But I had to say it twice. Because how the hell did he actually get out of that one alive? Meanwhile, bottom lane, Juggernaut does spin onto the Tusk. Tusk does have a snowball, but it's not really going to do anything. There's no creeps to snowball too. So Infamous finally finding a kill for themselves. And, well, 2k up for the side of 16 Anos. And there's the roll in forward, going in onto the poor little Rubik. Rubik might actually, well, he uses his stick charges. And he is going to be okay. There is no skewer up for the Magnus. So Magnus will actually drop from this one. One more hit needed. That is a 1-for-1 trade-off. Are they going to turn around and go on the Rubik? There's another Spark Wraith coming in. Will actually do a lot of damage. Uses his one charge again. Or stick charge again. And, oh, look at this. Dropping the ward so that he gets vision. Goes in for the roll and gets the kill. 5-2 in favor of 16 Anos.
Beast Bomb.
Let's have a look what's happening mid. Dragonite did pop his ultimate. There's the snowball coming in. Any TPs coming in here for the side of Infamous. Are they going to actually respond to this or not? There's a TP by the Rubik. It's a bit late though. Can the Dragonite actually survive from this? No, he can't. The support TPs, well, there was no TP up here for the Phoenix. He did run out, or smoke up and run middle.
Oh boy.
But also no Sunray to just try and give the DK a little bit more HP. Yeah. Guys in chat asking why denied to Rosh at the start of the game. I just typed in there just explaining it. Yeah, I mean he was pretty much dead already now. So I want to go in onto the Beastmaster, onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster is still alive right now, busy eating himself out. The amount of movement speed that this thing has, I'm sorry, this needs to be nerfed or something. Well, he's being slowed up a little bit. No. Well, yeah. Just comes in and gets zapped up by the Rubik. So needing that kill, I mean, well, there's a tip as well. Side of Infamous struggling a little bit here in the early stages of this game. Top lane Magnus does have a skewer up. Just skewers up on the trees here just to open up a little bit more space, but getting slowed up yet again. Winter Wyvern just doing so much. Another Spark Wraith hitting him. I mean, the amount of harass coming through here. This is starting to become problematic now, especially with the Arc having 3 levels up in the Wraiths. It's 220 nuke damage every 4 seconds. Spin up here onto... Nah, he's going to be spinning them. Well, Timbersaw wants to come in. He wants to actually try and get some kind of kill. There's the Snowball coming in as well. The Timber Chain is there. Is there going to be any kind of TP? No TP. Hey, well, he just knows that that would have just been a complete waste. And another kill up on the poor little Phoenix. He is sitting on 0 and 3 right now. Magnus as well, 0 and 3. Magnus does have a 6 up at least. Phoenix also hit a 6 towards the end of that fight. Literally hit a 6. So you might actually see some kind of engagement or some kind of fight coming in. But Dragon Knight has a DD run, so might just want to put some more pressure on this middle tier 1 tower. And no stun used. I mean, stun won't really do anything. Just giving more reactive armor charges up to the Timbersaw. And Timbersaw does have support coming in here with the Tusk. Tusk will hit a 6 now as well, so does he decide to actually get his ulti or not? Double damage rune wall. And very soon. That's why Timbersaw is actually being very aggressive here. He does have... Oh, I'm missing a kill there on the top lane, where finally they managed to actually get a kill. And Phoenix did not die. And that's a kill onto the Winter Wyvern, so... It's not onto the Arc, but it's still fine. Arc does have his 6 up, so it does have a Tempest level up as well, which of course he's using to put some pressure onto the tier 1 tower here. Dragon Knight has to be careful because the Tusk is here. He can just decide to roll onto the DK, but look at the positioning, just trying to stay on this side. And there's the Timber Chain coming in forward, as well as the Snowball with the Wyvern is here as well. Can try and just do a little bit if they need to, but no, there you go. There's the egg being popped. Do they have enough to actually do anything to this egg? Well, that's exactly what I said. Winter Wyvern will just come in forward, wait for the egg to be popped, and then just cast Winter's Curse. That gave them enough time to try and pop it, but can they turn this around? Nope, they can't. That's the problem if you don't actually control up the Winter Wyvern. Whenever you egg, Winter Wyvern will just... Well, Winter's Curse your team, and then they'll just focus the egg itself. If they can, try and engage on the Winter Wyvern, force the Winter Wyvern to, you know, back out, kill him first before the egg, or if the egg is in a position where his team, you know, where the egg's behind the team, that's a different story. 3 Wraith Bands stacked up on the Juggernaut. Will actually allow him to fight a lot earlier, because this literally gives 18 extra attack speed for him, so that will help up with the Omni Slash significantly. I mean, look how fast he's hitting at level 10 already, and he doesn't even have his Yasha up yet. Arc Warden. I mean, Jugger is one of those heroes that can sort of deal up with the Arc Warden if the Arc Warden like gets jumped by the Juggernaut and Omni Slash. Magnus still quite a ways off his Blink Dagger. Sitting on 2,900 net worth compared to his counterparts in the Brewmaster 5,600, but then again the 2 cores are also 4,000 net worth in favor of 16 Anos, but Infamous starting to pressure the tier 1 bottom, tier 1 mid being pressured out in return, but the Timbersaw is not really known for, you know, hitting towers that much. However, top lane, 16 Anos also trying to put pressure on top, and here comes the TP. There is a bruise split if need be, and they did get the bottom tier 1 tower. Let's see if they're actually going to be able to do anything about this. Here comes the rest of 16 Anos trying to go in onto the Dragon Knight. Is Dragon Knight going to be able to do anything? Nope. He will probably just drop from this. The bruise split was actually used. Are we going to see Infamous actually trying to take this tier 2 tower in exchange for the Dragon Knight's life? I mean, it was a solo TP end. I'm not quite sure about that. And they won't even get the tier 2 tower bottom. Well, they are actually TPing in onto the Timbersaw. The RP is used. Can they? Oh, there you go. There's a, well, actually, that was a egg and a ult coming in from the Witch's Curse. There's another skewer in onto the Timbersaw. They will finally get him. This time, better positioning. Now they want to turn around onto the Winter Wyvern. The Timber Chain is there from the Rubik. Can they actually get this final kill needed? One more hit, and it is actually going to be there finally. However, the Phoenix does drop. The Walrus Punch was stolen initially by the Rubik. I think the actual time to get them the first kill. Then he went over to the Timber Chain. But look at the deep wards coming in for the side of 16 Anos. Just completely making sure that they have vision on all of the movement coming in and out of the middle lane. And this all gets scouted out. Lots of pings coming out as well. I mean, I was going to say Arc Warden. The problem is, you know, Arc is getting freeform, but he's only working towards his Hand of Midas now. Does have a level 1 Necro, or, you know, Necro book up. Sitting 6,300 net worth up in comparison to the Juggernaut, which is actually doing pretty decent for the side of Infamous. 7,300, and Brewmoss also sitting around the 7,400 mark. However, it's Hand of Midas, so it doesn't contribute that much, except for just giving him pure attack speed. But Blink Dagger will be up here for the Brewmaster as well. And a brand new Dragon Form used by the Dragon Knight. Try to... Ooh, nearly getting to deny here up on the Witch Wyvern. There's the shards coming out here. Is there going to be any kind of follow-up or any response up here? The rest of Infamous is actually here. There is the RP as well, but the Blink in forward straight in onto the Magnus. Magnus is going to try and skewer up. Does bring the Brewmaster up. Brewmaster does have his ultimate as well, so not really the fight that Infamous was looking for. Trading the Dragon Knight yet again in exchange for only a tower. But bottom lane, Juggernaut was trying to get that tier 2 tower. He just blink or spins and TPs out. And can they get any further kills up here? The Phoenix Egg is used. They do not have enough to actually do anything about this. The Arc Warden, it's only an image, an illusion. But Invis Dragon Knight will scout everything out here. They cannot. So Dragon Knight might actually drop yet again if you're not careful. Sitting on half HP already, just being targeted, and that's Dragon Knight's second death in probably like 2 minutes. Well, there's the RP. Straight on to 3 healers. Getting the skewer up as well. There's the Omni Slash. Double kill up here for Nada. And now they want to go in for more. Brewmaster's in a lot of trouble. There's a crit up here from the Juggernaut. He does move in forward. There's the Shadow Blade up. Or, you know, being used by the Dragon Knight. And he actually gets out of that one alive. But Brewmaster is in a lot of trouble himself. Does get pulled back by the level 1 shockwave. Level 4 shockwave, sorry. There's a lift up on the Brewmaster. Brewmaster trying to go for a split, but it wasn't enough. All of a sudden, this Juggernaut showing up at the right time. The perfect RP coming in from the Magnus, allowing him to get a very good Omni Slash off as well. I mean, this is what you spoke about. Having that Empower up on the Juggernaut will allow for him to actually go into Manta, into a lot of other kind of items. He doesn't have to go for a Battlefield. And I mean, 75% cleave, base damage increased by 50% as well. All of a sudden, tier 2 tower drops, and Infamous looking in a very good position in regard to their carry. Dragon Knight just needs to survive a bit longer in the fights. Oh, let's have a look here. This is bullshit.
I almost feel bad.
Well, there's lag coming out here from the side of 16 Anos. Let's just quickly go through some of the item progression here while we have a little bit of downtime. I mean, I'm solo casting here, so excuse me if I miss out a lot of the smaller, more technical stuff that happens. I'm trying to cast everything that's going on at once. That's why in general you have an analyst that can, you know, focus on those things while the play-by-play caster just says whatever the hell's going on in the moment. But solo casting is, I'm just trying to make it fun and entertaining, which means I do miss out quite a few things, as well as new things in the patch. For example, me saying in the previous game, oh, why didn't you just deny yourself? Which, of course, Bloodstone, it's removed, it changes mana to health, so it gives you a lot more HP.
This is bullshit.
But let's focus on that. 14 charges up here for the Timbersaw. If the side of Infamous Young can actually kill the Timbersaw now a couple of times back to back, Timbersaw is going to be in a very bad position. But if Timbersaw can just get these stacks up to around the 20 mark, it's going to be... I mean, honestly, Juggernaut can still technically deal with him. But the rest of the team can't. So it's going to be very difficult for them to deal with a 20 plus charge Timbersaw this early on in the game. The Arc Warden, building up towards, sitting with 4 Wraith Band, will have a Maelstrom up. Actually changing, he was queuing up a Hand of Midas, but no, well, he knew that he needed just a little bit more damage, which I actually agree with. He'll have that up pretty soon, especially... Well, he also doesn't have Boots of Travel up just yet. Maybe he needs to finish off his Boots of Travel to try and push out lanes. The problem is, without this top tier 2 tower, it's going to be a lot more difficult. However, he can still TP into the shrine and then, you know, move out that way. Brewmaster sitting highest on his team in regards to net worth. But yet again, that is pretty much just because of the Hand of Midas, I think. Let's have a look at the career. Yeah. Sitting on 8,000. Oh, no. Not. There you go. Having that Blink Dagger up, Phase Boots, Hand of Midas up. I mean, also stagnating a little bit. I mean, he was ahead of the Juggernaut for quite a while. Anyway. Winter Wyvern, just boots, just support things. Tusk, brown boots, just support things. Well, he is busy snowballing in forward. They do drop the Winter Wyvern ultimate onto the Magnus, and here comes Timbersaw. Wanted to get a couple more stacks off, and the Walrus kick was actually used there, or the Walrus punch was actually used there. Why did I say Walrus kick? Because it literally looked like he kicked him. Sorry. Back to that old school habit. Okay, Dragon Knight is in this, so he does scout out the Winter Wyvern coming in. However, there is the snowball, and they're using a lot to try and just blow up the corner. However, it is a support kill, and it is a kill, so we'll be okay. Juggernaut, is he going to try and solo up the Timbersaw? He does have support coming in soon. Timbersaw has to be very careful because Juggernaut can just decide to turn and burn, especially with a Dragon Knight. Does he have Blink up? Oh, but with a Shadow Blade, yeah, they can. And here you go. Shadow Blade is actually being used. Going to wrap around. He will see the Winter Wyvern as well as the Tusk coming in. Is he going to actually stun any of them? There he goes. Dragon Form in. Good RP onto 2 heroes, and it's going to just be a skewer. No, Snowball will actually get them out. He did not skewer for some reason, and that will completely halt the entire fight right now. Dragon Knight just being blocked up. Not quite sure why the skewer wasn't used. Would have actually been able to, I think, at least get one of the 2 kills. Winter Wyvern did drop towards the end of that. I think the skewer was used to bring him down. The shockwave was used, I think, to bring him down there. Oh, sentry is up, so Tusk does get scouted out. But Tusk does scout out the Dragonite and insta-deward, which means they will just decide to push. But 4K in favor of 16 Anos. Is this going to be a smoke? There is a smoke up here on the Winter Wyvern. And it might just be a 3-hero smoke. There's ultimate up on the Brewmaster, everything. They might... I don't think they're going to be able to get here before the Rosh actually drops from this. But Timberstorm, will he actually go in for the steal or not? Oh no! He actually goes in, but he hooked the wrong tree. And here we see the jump in on the top. Tusk actually nearly dies, but now the Dragonite is in a bit of trouble himself. Juggernaut puts him onto half HP. Dragonite does fall. Tusk is still alive with that one, and the Juggernaut ultimate nearly killing off the Brewmaster, but Brewmaster is managing to get the split off at the last minute. Everything going wrong for the side of Infamous. Now Rubik, he does have a Timber Chain. He's showing the Timbersaw actually how to use the proper Timber Chain right there. And the blink out from the Magnus. Pro plays. Everything went wrong there for the side of Infamous. Well, it started off going wrong for 16 Anos with the Timber Chain in onto the tree right here. But the blink in forward, they did not manage to actually burst the Tusk. It was extremely close. But then the Winter's Curse came down. I don't even... Well, Phoenix did ulti. Did not even see what happened there. They did not manage to get the kill onto the Tusk. Tusk snowballed out. Then the Winter's Curse was used. Juggernaut put the Dragonite onto half HP. Dragonite just, well, got blown up after that. And then everything just went, well, pear-shaped for the side of Infamous Young. On top of that, Tusk got the Aegis. It was not a snatch, so Dire also got the Rush kill as well. So the kill gold for Rush went the way of Dire. They picked up the Rush. Sure, it's on the Tusk, but that's still fine. And Jugger might be in a bit of trouble right now. He starts spinning, waiting for the Walrus Punch. For Spears of Fall Immunity. There's an RP coming in after 2 years, but another Winter's Curse onto Magnus. Magnus is going to drop. Magnus is dead. And this is the problem coming in here for, for the side of Infamous. They're fighting well, but the Winter's Curse just keeps on catching them off guard. And another spin coming in. Trying to go onto the Arc Warden right now. Arc Warden is in a lot of trouble at this point. Are they actually going to be able to kill the Arc Warden? Arc Warden down. The Phoenix Egg does drop as well. Juggernaut. Is he going to try and fight this at all? Nope. Does not fight this. He just decides to spin and TP. They got the kill on the Arc Warden. I just don't think that was enough. The Winter Curses are just coming out on such clutch moments. He's using his Arctic Burn to get onto high ground positions. Wait there. They draw in the fight. It starts there. They draw it in. And then he just drops his Arctic Curse. Well, his Arctic Curse, his Winter's Curse every single time, and Jugger just destroys his entire team. Currently, 16 Anos, they're fighting with 6 players because the Jugger keeps on destroying. It's sort of a 6v3, not even a 6v4, because Jugger kills one of his own teammates straight away, so that puts it on 4, plus Jugger's fighting 4, then that puts it on 3. So it's a 6v3 technically. Well, Warrior's Punch coming in onto the Phoenix. Phoenix can't do anything. The egg just pops. And things going very badly for the side of Infamous Young. 60 Anos. I mean, sitting on 20 charges up here for Honors on the Bloodstone. He'll be okay with that. He'll be happy with that. Brewmaster sitting on level 17. Working his way up towards that MKB. He does have a full Crimson Guard up as well. And what can Infamous actually do about this? There's a good RP. There's the Skewer, or the Shockwave as well. He wants to go for a Skewer and tries to run away, but yet again, Juggernaut just goes in and completely destroys his own teammates. Now he's just spinning. Does Juggernaut actually have an Omni Slash? He does if he comes back, but is it going to be able to do anything? He decides against it. They want to turn around. They want to try and go for some kind of kills here. Magus got the RP, tried to run away so that the Winter's Curse can be used on him, but it just wasn't good enough. Yet again, Juggernaut killing off the Magnus. He either kills off the Magnus every time or he kills off the DK, and the other one to go in onto him, but OmniSlash actually used Wing quite a bit. There's the egg as well. Can they get the kill onto the Brewmaster? Brewmaster does not have his split. He is dead at this point, being spun down. Now Winter Wyvern does go invis, but Winter Wyvern's in a lot of trouble. This is 2 kills for the side of Infamous Young that they really needed. 1 on the core and 1 on the supports. Have a look at the core. Was 630 gold going in favor. Unfortunately, it was not in favor of the Juggernaut. It was in favor of the Phoenix. But hey, if you're a support at the bottom of the network chart, that 600 gold means a lot. And Phoenix just about to give away. Ooh, yeah, he's going to give away that 600 gold, maybe. Well, 300 gold of the 600 that he got. He just gave it away. Dragonite still working up towards that BKB. I think that will be a big change for them if they can actually get those BKBs off, just to try and stop a little bit of the control from the side of 16 Anos. Juggernaut holding up. Yeah, he had his butterfly queued up for quite a while, and he just decided that's not going to work, because I think he knows. Oh, Scotty. Yeah, Scotty might not be a bad option. Just actually makes him a lot more tanky and survivable. Looking at the cores from the side of 16 Anos, Arc Warden does have his full boots of travel up. Oh, before we go on there, let's see if we're going to see any kind of fight. Tusk is busy hiding up here. There's the jump in forward from the Brewmaster. There's a skewer up here from Magnus. Magnus did not have his arm. Well, he did have his RP, but did not have anything else. Juggernaut this time, Winter Stress is used onto him. Can he actually do anything about this? He is going to OmniSlash. Can he actually get any kills? He does manage to get 1. Does manage to get 2. He gets a rampage coming in here. Mara, well, yeah, I mean, he's just empowered. What more can you say? Everyone's standing on top of each other. That's the first rampage of the day for me, and I just didn't want to know what to say after the rampage. That's a big swing for the side of 16 Anos. There's the egg being thrown as well. Can they actually get the kills here onto Timbersaw? It is possibly a dieback if they can actually get this kill onto him. He tries to stay alive just a little bit longer. Timbersaw is going to die. No, wait, yeah, Timbersaw's going to die back. And was that a buyback from him? Let's just actually make sure who bought back. Timbersaw did buy back, but he's, you know, back in 80 odd seconds with the Bloodstone. I mean, this game went from 16 Anos' game to lose to getting a rampage off there on the Juggernaut. I mean, all of a sudden, tier 3 tower's gone. Next up is going to be Shrines. Infamous Young. Well, they're showing they're not out of this just yet. Tusk, he wants to go on to the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is in a bit of trouble with Stall. Nope, Juggernaut's not in trouble. He's in trouble. He's killing the poor Phoenix, so that doesn't really help, does it? So Juggernaut wanted to go Scotty, then he got the rampage, then he decided to go Butterfly again, and he died. 700 gold being given the way of the Arc Warden. Not really the hero that you want to give any more gold to. I think I need to rest my voice for a second though. That rampage coming through, I like rampages. But we spoke about the Empower as well as the new Juggernaut a lot earlier on. It just, you know, goes to show the amount of damage that it actually does. Empower, of course, giving 50% more damage. You OmniSlash a lot faster because it's your normal attacks coming through now, considering you have 3 Wraith Bands as well as a full Mjolnir. But hold on that full quickly. BKB is used up on the Dragonite. This is his 10-second BKB, and he is being zoned and controlled up quite a bit. Sentry Ward is dropped, but still 10-second BKB used. I think the side of 16 Anos will be very happy with that BKB usage. This time Jugger's decided, I'm going to queue up Butterfly and Scott, because I still don't know which one I'm going to go for. I think he'll literally decide in the moment that he does it, so let's see. Juggernaut is there. Is there an RP available? There's an RP available, but there's also Witch's Curse. The Witch's Curse is used. This time it's not, well, the Magnus is there, but nothing actually happens With his Winter's Curse, the snowball is onto the Winter Wyvern. Stolen snowball. Can they actually get this kill? Yeah, it's going to be easy kill. Nothing else, but the problem with this now is there's no Winter Wyvern, so the side of Infamous Young can actually just push out any lane they want. Without that Winter's Curse, oh, Rosh will respawn. Rosh is back. Literally, it was on 1 second. I can't believe it. Are they just gonna hover? I mean, that was a very long respawn time as well. The pings are there. And Rosh is up. This might actually be, if Juggernaut can just go in there right now, they might just be able to get this with a Phoenix Egg. They have a Phoenix Egg. They have a RP. I mean, this is, Dire actually used the scan. Are they gonna try and contest this though? Does the smoke actually use? Not going to be in time, can't do anything about this. Full butterfly was picked up here for the Juggernaut. And Magnus does have RP if he really wants to go for it. There's the Empower onto the Juggernaut again. Wait for them to group up. There's the Empower on the Juggernaut. The previous Empower I think was on the DK. Okay, with this Aegis, it does put Infamous in a very strong position, even though they are a little bit behind in regards with net worth. Arc Warden does scale into the late game, but the problem is with the Omni Slash, if anyone brings the Juggernaut to the Arc Warden is going to get melted. Arc sitting on level 18, a little bit behind the Timbersaw and the Brewmaster, so the Arc really not having the best of games here. I mean, we saw his stats here. His Arc is kitted the hell out, but it just hasn't had that big impact yet. Working up towards the Silver's Edge, doesn't have any kind of silence or anything to try and zone out or control the Juggernaut while, like, before the Juggernaut has Blade Fury up. And a brand new Empower up here, 75% plus 50% damage, 75% speed. On the Juggernaut, they do have Winter's Curse right now. I mean, it's not a long, it's an 80-second cooldown. And, okay, it seems like 16 Annos, they just want to trade. They literally just want to trade right now. Not quite sure you want to trade off with up against Juggernaut. And I see TP's coming back. There was a glyph actually used. The Juggernaut, of course, does have his Aegis of the Immortal. And he just wants to right-click this down. Meanwhile, middle lane is also being taken very slowly by the Necro units. And they're just going to TP back. Dragonite will go back to deal with that. They can still fight. They do have Aegis, but I'm not quite sure if they want to for some reason. Juggernaut just blinks out away, building up towards that Abyssal. We'll be able to jump in forward. Abyssal, well, Abyssal, poor little Rubik. Abyssal, the Brewmaster, be able to kill him before he before he can ult. Abyssal, the Arc Warden. Abyssal, the Timbersaw. I like that. The big thing though is the more damage the Jugger starts putting out, Winter Wyvern gets a good ult off, then the more damage he's going to do to his own team. Let's see, lots of pings coming out here. They do scout out the Magnus. And Tusk. Yep. Tusk was scouted out there by the sentry. That's why they try to draw in the Tusk to actually go for a quick kill. Okay, so let's see what can 16 Annos actually do to bring back the game. Brewmaster building up towards the Orchids. They do need silences up to try and deal with the Jugger. The problem though is you still have the Manta style, which is a basic dispel. But after he's used Manta, sure. Arc Warden. We'll have a Silver's Edge up. Well, whenever he wants to buy it. I think he needs buyback first. Timbersaw sitting now on 16 charges on his Bloodstone. Not looking too great. He does have a Lotus Orb, which will help them quite a bit, especially if anyone other than Timbersaw gets Abyssaled. He can just Lotus Orb that straight off. Right? There's a smoke movement coming up here from Infamous. So before we say or do anything further, they're trying to look for pickoffs. Will they be able to find the Arc Warden here in the jungle? Nope. Not a completely wasted smoke, but Aegis will actually expire soon as well. The Jugger just goes in towards, oh wow. Oh wow. Jugger just destroys the tier 3 for free. They aren't doing anything to try and stop him. His Aegis literally just expired right now. So they're just going to back off. Top tier 1 tower. Wait, is that a top tier 1? Radiant tower. Top tier 1 was taking a long time ago. Okay. 16 Anos, they want to fight this. Against Tusk, he is Invis up right now, does have a Blink Dagger. Are they actually going to be able to scout out? Well, the Blink in forward was there from the Tusk, but the Magnus threw it away. Unfortunately, he is, just going to, he's going to go. Won't be able to blink himself out. And that's a good kill, as well as getting a couple extra charges up on the Bloodstone. So, well worth it for them. Smoke finally paid off. And it seems like they're all just back to farming. 5k net worth for this, well, ahead for the side of 16 Anos. Let's just do the maths here quickly. So 16 Anos is in lead with 6k gold, but the Jugger is in lead with 7k versus the Arcs, like 27k versus the Arcs 20k. The big net worth difference here comes in with the two supports. Oh, and Jugger might be in a bit of trouble right now. He does have his ulti. If he really wants to just go for this, he can. And he's standing there. He's trying to wait for them all to group up. He's trying to... Can he actually do anything? 16 Anos splitting up extremely well, making sure that no one is standing on top of each other, so that if Jugger ults, it's just going to be on one, and then it'll instantly turn around and, try and counter. But we're talking about the gold difference, and it literally comes down to the Phoenix as well as the Rubik. The Phoenix sitting 3k or 2k below the Magnus. And the Magnus sitting roughly around 1k. It's just the bottom 3 are from the side of Infamous Young. That's where the big problem lies. And then the next core from the side of... It's literally just the Juggernaut that actually has farm. Versus on the side of 16 Anos, they actually have multiple cores that are like 3 of the cores on the top 4. And that's going to be a problem for the side of Infamous Young to deal with. And here comes the Shockwave, just to pull him a little bit back. Brewmaster actually goes in for a split. Do we have the Juggernaut here? Nope. No Juggernaut. I thought Juggernaut would be here just to cleave up through all of the illusions quickly. Well, they did force out a brew split. And Infamous Young just give up technically a free tier 3. Yeah, this game going back and forth, like as you can see, it's jumping up and down the whole time. Net worth still never favoring the side of Infamous, or Infamous Young. But we've already spoken about that, so let's see what can this Jugger actually do to try and bring this, back for his team. He's increasing his net worth lead, but can the Jugger really solo carry this? That is the question. Full Hurricane Pipe will be up in... 150. Yep, Hurricane Pike will be back up, or will be up, as well as enough for buyback for the Arc Warden. This will allow him to at least put distance between himself and the Juggernaut. If the Juggernaut, of course, not spinning around. Spin to win. Tusk building up towards that sheep stick, so they're itemizing to deal with this Jugger. The problem that I see here for Infamous is they can't just solo rely on the Jugger. I do see Dragonite actually getting a little bit of farm back, which he was very far behind. And Rosh is already up again. Wow, this was a short respawn. This has ages. I mean, if Winter Wyvern or well, if Jug actually if Jug gets this refresher, the double Omni Slash could just ruin it. I mean, I wouldn't normally give it to the Jug. I'll probably give it to the Magnus. Oh, there's a jump in forward onto the Timber Sword. Can he actually get the kill? Nope. There's the Lotus Sword being used. Timber Chain, stolen. We're trying to force this out as much as possible. And we might just see them fall back and head straight into Rosh. It's going to be very, I mean, with this Hurricane Pike, it's going to be difficult for the Jugger to keep his healing ward anywhere close. Jugger did go top. We'll probably push out one more creep wave, then go and check and Rosh. But then again, it's a short Rosh respawn timer, so I don't know if they'll actually think even to have a look. As you can see, they're not checking just yet. You might just see them pick up the haste, and there you go. Dragon moving straight into Rosh. They do scout out the Brewmaster. Brewmaster does actually use a split. Are we going to see a full-on fight here or not? Jugger decides to back out right now. They're trying to keep everything split up. Magnus. Did he brand new empower up on the Juggernaut? And Jugger decides to just go and cleave everything, basically. Or all the Brewlings. Waiting for him to respawn, and now they're going to jump in onto the Brewmaster. Very well played here by Infamous, and with that, they might actually just... That just means Rosh is... Oh, the miss. Wow. Okay. That probably just means a free Rosh. The problem is... 16 Anos, they're just going to push down the middle lane, try and get a full lane of racks in exchange for this, and I think that's the right call to make. Oh, Timbersaw moving it forward with his Lotus Sword popped on himself. They're trying to kill the Arc Warden. Arc Warden just chip damaging onto the range racks. However, side of 16 Anos, are they going to try and force this fight now, seeing that Infamous are split up? Nope, just TP's coming in. Dusk is actually used. Dusk did not hit the Tusk. Tusk is Yuled and missed. Oh, there's the mist. There's the sentry. Wait, what's going on? Ah, gem up on the Magnus, that's why. So the refresher shot is given to the Magnus. Double RPs, just to try and control them up. If Magnus can get the Winter Wyvern, just to make sure that the Winter Wyvern doesn't Winter's Curse anyone. I don't know. Mag is going to struggle with mana, but then again, he also has a cheese, so... And there's the first Winter's Curse. Say bye-bye, Rubik. Well, not the first. The Winter's Curse. Rubik just gets... Oh, that's so bad. Like, imagine being a poor little support and just getting 3-shot by your own team. Yeah, and they're getting tipped as well. Oh, it's so rough. No, that's the Magnus down as well. And the gem. Infamous just, well, there's the Omni Slash coming through, bouncing between screens, bouncing between everything and everyone except the heroes. Now he wants to move on to, well, I can see multiple things happening right now. There's the egg also being used. I want to try and focus on multiple things at once. Can they get there? Waiting for the Brewmaster ult to actually, yeah. Well, now they can actually just focus, and Brewmaster will be able to jump away, but not for long. The blink in forward from the Magnus does skewer back to Brewmaster, and Brewmaster will drop from that. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they did manage to get a kill onto... What's the late skill? Yeah, the Winter Wyvern. And that might just open up the base for the side of Infamous. Splitting up the fight like that. I mean, it was also buyback up on the Magnus. So, yeah, they just... Infamous split up, and I think they just didn't need to. Are there any further buybacks? There is a buyback available for the Winter Wyvern. He does have his Winter's Curse. Buyback is available for the Brewmaster, but he does not have his Primal Split. And Task does not have buyback. So, one buyback used. Can the Winter's Curse actually be used on someone to... Well, Aegis is still there for the Juggernaut. Juggernaut, yeah. Trying to just position himself here, the Winter Wyvern, to make sure that he can actually get one Winter's Curse off. And if you can blink it for it, there you go. Winter's Curse onto Magnus. Magnus does not have buyback, and one hit needed. Juggernaut kills the Magnus yet again. And on that note, Dragonite also dropped here on the middle lane. Now the one to turn around, the one to go in onto the Rubik. Rubik is in a bit of trouble. He can turn and Yules. Then blink away. He should be fine with that. But Magnus dropping there, I mean... That's a dieback for him. Dieback on only on the bag, yeah. Oh. Oh, that's a gem dropped again. Just when Infamous start looking good, they split up and they go for these weird solo plays. Which I'm not completely sure I understand why they're doing that. You know, why they're splitting up when they have Aegis on the Juggernaut. Is just stand behind him. Make them blow everything on the Jugger. Get the racks, fall back. You know, and rinse and repeat. Jugger is just going to try and heal up with his ultimate illusion. He does have his ultimate if he really needs to use it. But there's the blink and forward. Is he going to turn and burn his Omni Slash? Or is he just going to try and... There's the Omni Slash coming through. Can they actually do anything? Nope. Omni Slash gets stopped in its face just by a simple corner burst. And it's a full lane of racks up the side of 16 Anos. Oh, Tempest double. Yeah, Rubik! Blink in forward, lifting up. Okay, this is actually quite cool. Lifting up the Timber Soul. Can they do much? Nope. Oh, there's the RP, first RP used, and yet again the Winter's Curse onto Magnus. Magnus is dead again! Now they want to turn around. Can they get the kill on the Timber Soul? Winter's Curse. No, Winter's Curse. The corner brace is used on... Oh, wait. Was that a stolen... Wait. Was that stolen coming through there? I'll have a look at that just now. The big thing, though, is Timber Soul is still alive. He has 22 charges up. They still have not managed to kill him. Juggernaut is still alive, but he is thrown in the air for extremely long. Another buyback coming through here by the Dragonite. Well, Dragonite wants to come and try and help. Oh, can they kill the Juggernaut? Juggernaut does have buyback if he needs to use it. He is being forced to use it. The roll is coming in. The roll is there from the Tusk. Tusk does drop, and Juggernaut wants to move forward. Gets the back onto the Timber Soul. Gets the Abyssal as well. Timber Soul will finally drop. I think that was a stolen Winter's Curse. I could not see. So much was happening. So excuse me, because I missed like 90% of that fight. But lots of buybacks. Some diebacks. And it's Infamous that want to push up. There's a buyback still available here on the Arc Warden. But if that was a stolen Winter's Curse by the Rubik, it did help quite a lot. The problem though, they controlled this Juggernaut for such a long time. Juggernaut wants to go for a kill onto the Brewmaster. Blinking forward from the Rubik. Will they actually scout out? Nope, won't scout anything out. Okay. Can 16 Anos actually reproduce the same fights that they had previously? If 16 Anos wins, I'm giving MVP to this Winter Wyvern because he has been insane with his Winter's Curse, and then as soon as the Winter's Curse is done, he just cold embraces the Timber Soul every time they jump on the Timber Soul, and they can't kill the Timber then. Oh, Rubik. Okay, he's okay. I just want to actually focus on this Winter Wyvern because his Cold Embraces, his Winter's Curses have just been on point right now. But it's still one full lane of racks versus a half lane of racks on the top lane. So each team has a lane busy pushing in for themselves. But let's see. I think the jump might actually just be here. Let's zoom out, see where this Winter Wyvern actually, if he manages to get anyone. They do see the Magnus. Magnus might be in a bit of trouble himself right now. There is a gem. Aghanim Scepter, of course, up here for the Timber Sword, but it's not going to help much. There's a jump in for it. They do manage to blow up the Winter Wyvern this time. That is exactly the kill that they needed. Now they want to go in for more. Are they just going to turn and burn? Kill the Brewmaster? Which one are they going to try and focus? Try and just make sure that all of them are staying roughly around each other. And they're just going to be focusing onto the Earth Panda, making sure you can't blink away, because this is where the Brewmaster is going to be coming in. And he does get the blink in forward, but there's the Yules. And this is a BKB. Who's up on the Brew? Oh, can they kill him? Is there an Abyssal? There is an Abyssal in 1 second. The blink forward probably Abyssal. Yeah, there's the Abyssal. And that is no buy. Oh, well, there's a buyback available. Yeah, there's a buyback available. But no buyback available on the Winter Wyvern. This time, they jumped the Winter Wyvern. This time, there was no Juggernaut beating the hell out of his own team. It's sort of like if you had a younger brother, you taking your younger brother's hand and slapping your younger brother in the face with his own hand, saying, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. It's that kind of bullying coming out here every single time the Winter Wyvern, Winter's Curses anyone on the side of Infamous, because Jugger just like 3 shots basically his entire team. And I rate that as complete bullying. Oh, Phoenix nearly dies just from... this is the stage of the game where the Arc Warden starts hurting. Like, every 36 seconds, he... Tempest doubles, Boots of Travels, and there you go. We'll actually just 2 seconds, 1 second. On the next Tempest double, he'll probably just use Boots of Travel there, not now. That's just trying to get out of the Arc Warden, but in doing so does around 50% damage to himself. Yes, that was a stolen. I'm actually looking on streams like 5 minutes ago. I think that was a stolen with the curse. That's why like everyone was hitting everyone, but no one was really taking a lot of damage. IT Rush is up. Are we going to see the side of Infamous take their 3rd Rush in a row? Or are we actually going to see Arc Warden maybe try just move in and go for the solo and rush? It's going to take a while, but it might not be a bad option for him. Because if Arc can actually get that Aegis up, get the refresher and the cheese, bring them back to base, give the refresher to the Winter Wyvern. I mean, Winter Wyvern has been landing insane with his curses. So if he can actually get a refresher shot up. Gem up, he will scout out the Tusk. And oh, he misses the Tusk! But on that note, this might just be a call to go into rush. Is anyone check? Scout rush, scout rush, scout rush. Please move in their support. Thank you. Rush is being pinged out. Do they have any high ground vision, high ground wards at all? They do have a ward up from Phoenix. So will probably drop it there. There you go. And I mean, having a magnetic field of your own is good, isn't it? There's a refresher, so 1 refresher, there's another refresher, and there's a cheese who has a 2nd refresher. Who took it? Wait, where's the 2nd refresher? I was about to say. Give one to Dragon Knights, having 2 forms up an older dragon form. Yeah. Okay, nope, he's actually giving it to, let me guess, the Magnus. Yeah, Magnus. So Magnus and Phoenix both have refreshers. And I think this is going to be very big. Oh, wait, no, you see a big fight coming out here. There's the first buyback on the with the Wyvern. However, the Timbersaw is also going to drop here. Does Timbersaw actually have buyback? Timbersaw does not have buyback. They try to go in for a wraparound play. Now they know, well, they have to just keep it towards the bottom lane. They have to try and actually do something, because without that Timbersaw's down for 113 seconds. There's no buyback. This might just be the call to end straight out. I mean, after this cliff, okay, they're actually trying to ensure the game, not just go straight for end, but no buyback up on the Timbersaw. This is very problematic for the side of 16 Anos. The Yules up on the Juggernaut. Well, not the Yules, but the Whirlwind. BKB is popped on the Dragonite. And, well, that's Megas coming up in. Infamous Young, all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, they were actually doing very well. It's just sometimes they split up and they got picked off. But right now, they just need to focus on end. 65 seconds left here for the Timbersaw before he comes back. There's the first RP, and it's a complete miss. Was that the second RP? I think he needs a previous RP as well. But Juggernaut uses his BKB up. He still has his Agent of the Immortal, trying to make sure that he manages to spin out of that one. So, please don't run in close to the Dragonite, because we are going to kill off the Dragonite. Can they? The egg does fall. Finally, that was the second egg actually used. And here comes Brewmaster trying to focus. Well, not trying to. He just focuses the Dragonite, and Dragonite just dies. Didn't manage to get tier 4s. Now, is there a buyback up on the Dragonite? There is. Is there a buyback up on the Phoenix? There is, but there is no egg. There is a buyback there. And he does have his Outer Dragon form. Both cheeses were actually used during that whole engagement. Okay. Let's have a look here. BKB in stash, Boots of Travel in stash, Master Style in stash. Is he a bit of trouble? Does have a Walrus Punch. Remember, the faster Jugger hits, the more damage he does in his ulti, because it's time-based now. So, 3.5 seconds, or he has... it is, I think it's 4.5 second duration, because of the plus 1 second Omni Slash. Is he just going to turn and burn Omni, or not? Oh, we do see a fight coming down here. They do pick off the Rubik. This is a problem here. Jugger's in all alone, and there he uses his ultimate. It's busy bouncing in onto the Tusk, but the Tusk is called a brave right now, and there's the Witch's Curse onto the Magnus. Magnus does drop. The Juggernaut is in quite a lot of trouble. He does still have the Agent of the Immortal. He is trying to do everything he can. There's multiple buybacks coming in right now, going in onto the side as well. Who are they going to turn? Well, are they actually going to force this fight or decide to back off right now? Lots of buybacks used. I think that was all the buybacks used on the side of... Not all the buybacks. Nearly all the buybacks. 3 buybacks used on the side of Infamous Young. Sometimes my mouse just moves, does crazy things. Has a mind of its own. Well, there's a gem lying right on the ground here. So anyone going to pick it up? Okay. Insta buyback. I agree. Gem's still on the ground here. Okay, so of course it is Megas for the side of Infamous Young. They don't need to force things that dramatically just yet, but I think they want to. This is going. It's a 9-second BKB up for the Juggernaut. I mean, a 9-second BKB at 60 minutes into the game is ridiculous. Oh, the smoke right there. Pop, now they jump in onto the Timbersaw. Timbersaw does get Golden braced up right now. We're waiting for the big Winter's Curse. Yet again, there is a Winter's Curse available. But Magnus is all the way in the front lines. He is in quite a bit of trouble right now. He does not get anyone to, well, he does not get screwed back. Magnus actually drops. That is a dieback up on the Magnus. Meanwhile, Juggernaut's just busy running away while the rest of his team is dying. That's 3 heroes down for the side of Infamous Young. Is this just one of the biggest throws that I've seen in quite a while? I hope not. Rubik does TP out. The problem is there's no buyback up on the Dragon Knight. No buyback up on the Magnus. They jumped in. And the Juggernaut was BKB while spinning and running away still on full HP. I know they wanted to probably jump him, but using that Omni Slash, they were all, the side of 16 Anos was too spread out, but I still rate you go in with that Omni Slash before the Winter's Curse can actually go onto anyone. You do have a blink. So blink in forward, Omni Slash while the rest of your team is there as well. And at least try and fight that. You have buyback up on the Juggernaut, so you can try and force that fight, especially when the rest of your team is about to die. Oh, there's the jumping forward onto the Tusk. Nope, decides against it. A lot of sentries drop. Oh, the gem is still lying on the ground. Zoom out here to try and focus on both of these lanes at the same time. The spark rates are there and the blink in forward onto the Juggernaut. Juggernaut turning around onto the Tusk. Tusk does get cold embraced up again. And are we going to see the Omni Slash coming through right now or not? He's in a lot of trouble. Juggernaut, can he actually get that Omni Slash off? No, he does not. He does have buyback, being forced to use it right now, and this could be problematic to get a kill onto him again. He does get thrown up into the air. Are they going to force this onto the Jugger or not? Nope, Jugger drops down right now. There is a egg up, no, and there you go, into the air again. Enjoy the ballet, Mr. Juggernaut. There's the first, the Whisper's Curse onto the Rubik, and that doesn't really help at all. But there's the jump in forward. The Juggernaut's in a lot of trouble. He is sheeped up. He does pop his BKB now. Doesn't manage to actually get the stun onto the Timbersaw. Can they actually get any kind of kills? There's another corner brace onto the Tusk. Still busy focusing the Tusk up right now. He is being healed up. They do manage to get the Winter Wyvern finally, and they do throw the Tusk up into the air. That is 2 heroes down for the side of 16A. It is Megas versus Megas. Look at all of these sentries on the entire map. Oh, the entire side here. Anyway. And it's just going to be Arc Warden Illusions being sent in, trying to spam out the likes of the Phoenix, etc. Look at all of the buyback cooldowns. I mean, there's a buyback up on the Arc Warden, buyback up on the Phoenix, buyback up on the Timbersaw. So 2 buybacks up on the side of 16A, and one buyback up on the side of Infamous. The problem is, no core buybacks. Juggernaut, I mean, I think by this time, Jugger, yeah, he's had enough ballet schools. He's like a pro by now. He could probably like perform on Broadway or something. This seems like it's going to be one last final hoorah up for the side of Infamous. Can they pick off anyone? There's a buyback on the Winter on the Winter Wyvern. Can they actually get the kill onto the Timbersaw? Timbersaw is extremely low. Timbersaw is still alive. Timbersaw finally drops. No! Timbersaw's alive. He got out of that one. The Winter Wyvern did buyback to actually try and save that up. But there's the Timbersaw. He actually does drop finally. With that buyback, Infamous might decide to back out right now. Oh, wait, there's 2 Rubik. The Rubik actually stole Primal Split. Wow. And Rubik's busy running away. There you go. Rubik. I'm trying to focus on what's happening. Okay, Jugger's out. I think that's the big one. He uses his egg. Well, okay. Oh, that range. But it's not going to be enough. Oh, nearly catching him out here. The problem is, you might have just given away your own life here, Mr. Magnus. Here's the Juggernaut. He's trying to run in, trying to actually come in to help out. Are they going to force this out? Phoenix does actually buy back. Oh, wow. That was a farm. That was very far. Magnus, you're running the wrong way, buddy. Your team is not there to help you. Busy charging away, and they still can't catch him. Here's the Juggernaut. He goes in forward, but he gets you. He gets sheeped up. This is problematic. Juggernaut is actually down. Juggernaut does want a buyback. This might just be it for the side of 16 Anos. There is an RP, but it's not going to be actually worth anything at this point. There you go, just jumping in for Dragon Knight. He wants to go in for the end. He knows Juggernaut is not there, but multiple TPs coming in to try and actually keep him at bay. The problem is, Arc Warden's still here, and Arc Warden can actually end a lot faster than you can, Mr. Dragon Knight. Not quite sure what they can actually do here. That sheep up on... who's the sheep up on? Who has the sheep? Where's the sheep? Where's the sheep? I think it was the Timber Sword. Yeah, the sheep on the Timber Sword. They don't have anything. GG1 players have been called. They don't have anything to try and dispel that or to keep the Juggernaut alive. He blinked in and was instantly sheeped. 16 Anos taking game number 1 in a surprising manner after Juggernaut got a rampage. What a game. Guys, I actually need to go and grab just some water for my throat here. I'll be back for game number 2. I mean, I hope it's half as good as this game was because, well, I'm hella excited. See you guys for game number 2.